Hey there, you amazing patrons, it's X, and I'm here with Kyle and Felicia, and no special guests, because that's not how we roll anymore. Anyway, this is the Utah Outcasts Secret Patron Show.
Guests make things messy.
Unless you know them, it's like it's kind of hard sometimes to do the show that you like to do, because they'll just be like, this is super awkward, what the fuck am I doing here?
You guys seem like you have really good rapport, and I'm not in on the joke.
Yeah. So this is our special patron-only content, at least patron-only for 6 months until we give it to the rest of the world, that we provide to the folks who are generous enough to share with us at least $1 a month. And for people on the Uncut show, you've already heard my Sally Struthers joke, and you can just make it up in your own brains here, dollar patrons. I appreciate that. If you've stumbled upon this in your regular show feed on a Friday or a weekend, thanks for stopping by. But you missed the real show. That was about 2 episodes previous, and go listen to those, or just wait a couple of days and we'll have more for you guys to listen to. Make sure you go back and listen to the older stuff. It's good times. So anyway, we've got lined up for us tonight a dumb little audio clip that I grabbed from Right Wing Watch, because I use them for just about everything, especially when I'm struggling to find a topic to talk about. And I didn't want to make it anything about the Proud Boys. I didn't want to talk about, alt-right people or anything like that. So instead, I just went to their news source and I found something from Breitbart that we're going to talk about. And it's a editor there that's talking about how Trump is becoming a little bit of a loser.
Little bit?
Well, and that's the interesting thing, is that what we would think he's becoming a loser for, being a terrible president or anything. No. But because the fact that Trump might be showing a little bit of empathy, he's becoming a bit of a loser. So it's completely different bookends here.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
We've been in the trenches for many of these amnesty battles multiple times. I look back to 2013 when it looked almost inevitable that the Gang of Eight was going to be, or some version of it was going to become law. We fought it, we beat it, we stopped it.
Yeah, you did. Yes, I'm sure
you personally. I'm sure you
spent a lot of time in the trenches.
Instrumental.
You know what?
Couldn't have done it without you.
And this podcast swung the election. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
In an alternate universe where Hillary won.
Yeah. And
where Hillary won and everything's fine.
Listen, if you're doing new media, you're not in the trenches there, buddy. You're not in any fucking trench. People need to stop using that analogy at all, unless they know what being in the trench actually fucking means. It's terrible,
Yeah, unless you're the protesters, like the activists who are getting pepper sprayed, or you're the activists who are doing things like getting.
We fought it.
Sorry, I had to click on the wrong thing to make it go back to where it belonged, and it fucked up on me. And so sorry.
Got it. Okay. No,
so we're talking about trenches. My bad.
I was saying, you can use that metaphorically if you are fighting in very real ways. But what we're doing right here, which is the same thing this guy's doing, this isn't trenches.
This isn't hard. I've got beer.
I mean,
very comfortable. I have alcohol. It's very comfortable here.
Yeah, it's not quite beer. I mean, it's kind of, but I'm not going to gain 20 pounds tomorrow by drinking this stuff. So anyway, back to this guy. It might be a couple of seconds of the same stuff you've already heard, because I fucked up the audio. So
fuck you, X.
We beat it. We stopped it. We've seen other amnesty pushes over the years. I wasn't here in 2006 and 7.
What, were you just born? Are you telling me you're and I know that's a stupid thing to go to. I know that's stupid as shit, but this kid does sound like he's 11. That's on the mic. I totally told my parents to go fuck themselves because they wouldn't let me have any screen time this weekend. They told me to go to my Nana's house, but I said, fuck you. I'm not going over to that old Jew bitch's house. I'm not going over there. Your Nana's a Jew. That means you're a Jew. I'm not a Jew.
I'm white. Not mutually exclusive. It's fine.
God damn it. I'm making up stories about this guy. I have no idea who he is. I probably could have just fucking said some terrible shit about this guy anyway.
But I know there was a push then. is there a chance for the American people, if their voices are heard loud and clear right now, to stand up, fight this, stop it, and push and for President Trump to move back in the correct direction and get back to being the solid negotiator and winner that he was, that he proved himself to be on the campaign trail?
He's never done that. First of all, campaigns aren't about negotiation, so I don't know why the fuck you're saying
campaigns are lying to your base.
He's a notoriously bad negotiator.
Notoriously bad. Let's
just point out, hang on. Let's just point out, trying to sell steaks in a high-tech gadget store. How does that work? The Sharper Image has been a place where you go and look at all the stuff that you're never going to buy because you're like, wow, what an amazing waste of money that is. It's like looking in the Sky Mall catalog.
One thing. Yeah. It does one thing, and I can do that. I can do that thing.
Or you would go in there because your parents were shopping in the mall a little bit too long and you wanted to sit in the vibrating chair or whatever the fuck it is that they had.
Yeah.
Or you'd play with the plasma ball. The plasma ball or the desk toys where like the pin thing. That used to be like the only place where you could play with the pin toy thing. Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a place where you sell steaks. What the fuck? No. Trump, what was he thinking? Oh, he's a great businessman. He can make deals all over the place.
He was thinking that he could basically pull a producers, get a bunch of people to invest, have the idea fail, and then get all the money. Which is what he's done.
Trump water, Trump vodka, Trump. He really should have lost and got his own news network. He really should have. I think he would have been happier. We would have been happier.
Oh, God.
They would have had an enemy for 4 years that they just could have kept on attacking with Hillary Clinton.
And then it would have crumbled and failed miserably.
Yeah. She would do such a good job.
She would veto so much shit that they've passed.
And also, can we just stop with the amnesty? That's such a dumb word.
It's not. Yeah. They don't understand.
And these people have such a short.
They don't understand anything of what they're talking about. So that's just.
No, they hate brown people, and they are using words to not say that. It's just like when Christians call it intelligent design. We know what you're doing, God damn it.
The chain migration thing, which is an absolute fucking lie. They can't bring in unlimited people related to them. No, it doesn't work that way. However, when that person that you bring in does become a citizen, they in turn have the right to bring in their family as well. You know, their extended family.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's
not their
how
extended
fucking.
Family.
Right. No. But I'm talking about like wife, grandmother, grandfather. You know, father, mother, that kind of thing.
Because if I end up moving someplace and I'm married, it's really truly terrible if I try to bring my spouse to me, and then if my spouse's mother falls ill and needs to be taken care of, it's really truly terrible to bring her.
Yeah. Wait, we're expecting these people to have empathy. No empathy at all.
So horrible. And they talk about it like it happens all at the same time. You know, it's like there's this line at the border. He's with me. These 20 people, they're with me.
That's my cousin, my other cousin, and my brother's cousin. It's like
assholes. This takes generations.
Oh, but they want to point out the guy that ran the truck on the jogging and bike park in New York City as one of these guys that's chain migration. And the funny thing is that chain migration was not a buzzword until September of 2016.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a thing until
I haven't heard this term until this last month.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't too many.
There's too many.
It wasn't widely used as a negative thing because
it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Nobody uses that term because
this is the craziest thing is that the right wing that's now is not even comparable to what was underneath like Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was not a great president. However, as far as a fucking Republican goes, he's a lot easier to stomach than what we have now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like because he knew taxes could be used to fund public goods. Like he knew that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, not to mention that, you know, he actually cared for migrant workers that come into this country. You know, he had some empathy for them coming into this nation. He's like, hey, let's give them a path to citizenship if they want to do that.
A bunch of people who rely on migrant labor now are flipping the fuck out because their communities are being torn apart and their industries are being pulled apart because ICE is attacking the easy targets, the ones
the low hanging fruit. Yeah,
they're not going after the criminals or the gangbangers, the people who are very much trying to hide that they're here at all.
No, they're grabbing people from courthouses now. They have the okay to grab from courthouses now, and they have the ability. Like, they're going to start grabbing people from churches, even though that's not. I don't believe as atheist people that we think that churches are somehow hallowed ground or anything.
No, but
it looks terrible for your department if you're dragging people out of their place of worship, kind of thing. It's like optics, people. It means a fucking lot. So let's let this guy finish up here.
Right now, he's kind of becoming a little bit of a loser.
A little bit.
How does he get back to being a winner? Is there a chance for the American people to fight and win this thing?
Yes, there is. And you've already laid it out. The president needs to walk away from this deal. He needs to say, okay, if the Democrats aren't going to go along with this bad plan, I'm walking away. And then, of course, we get to the March 5th deadline.
Why would the Democrats go along with the bad plan? Why should they go along with the bad plan?
There's no reason for them to go along with the bad plan.
You heard it from her, people. She said, why would the Democrats would walk away from this bad plan? I don't understand how anybody who voted for Trump or likes the Republicans at all is supporting this whole fucking building the wall, even though Mexico is supposed to pay for it thing. Like, why should we be spending our money on it?
That's because it's I know. Stupid, really, really stupid idea.
Yeah.
And I mean, not just logistically, but it's just.
But why, Felicia? Remember our new rule. If you call it by an ism, you have to say why.
I do? Is that our rule?
Oh, we put something out there where it's like, instead of being able to be an easy target where people are like, oh, they're just saying that it's racist. Like, it's racist because.
Oh, it's racist because putting a wall up, even though we pay for it, is keeping out just the brown people from the South, because it's not like they're proposing the same thing to the North.
Yeah. Can you imagine how. Only if they made the wall to Canada like the one from Game of Thrones.
Oh, the big ice wall?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Knights watch on top of it.
Canada wouldn't mind.
You need a dragon to forge that, though.
Well, the Canadians would like gladly offer their dragon right now to build.
They have a dragon? God damn it! I'm moving to Canada.
Canada. I'm sure they've got a dragon. They got all the cool shit in Canada.
I can't believe I had to explain that. I'm sorry. That was really dumb.
No.
It's racist because we're not doing it to white people. Yeah. Yeah.
I know. It seems dumb, but sometimes with some of the people that have been consuming our stuff lately, that you need to point out why APPLE spells apple.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Which is not really a deadline, but when supposedly unless the court is not overturned,
she doesn't know what she's talking
when
about.
the DACA work permits start expiring, and then if there is still this huge commitment to this population,
pause. If then there is, if then there is. That was
that was a statement she just said.
If then there is. Wow, you got a lot to say, bitch.
We start the negotiations over again from a very different place. We go back to the Goodlatte bill. And the Democrats, have to either take it or leave it. That's the way it should be. I mean, elections should have consequences.
They do.
We've been aware they do.
They do have consequences. We realize that, but
some pretty devastating consequences. But
governing
also
has to do with bipartisanship. You should never come up with something and be like, "Here, take this shit," or walk away.
Right,
and it doesn't
and expect
work
them
that
to
way.
take the shit.
And the way it is right now, the Republican majority in the Senate isn't large enough that they can do it on their own.
And they keep talking about the American people saying this and doing this. The thing is, the majority of Americans
don't want the wall, and
they want DACA.
They don't want the wall, and they want DACA. They want DACA protection, but a strong majority.
Oh, and we also want Mueller to be protected, and we want a lot of other things too that are just that's not reaching the higher ups here.
Medicare. Oh my God! Why does anyone vote Republican?
Because triggering snowflakes. That's exactly what they like to say.
Because brown people scapegoats.
Because I'm white and I'm afraid.
Because I'm white. Exactly.
Something my guns. I don't know.
Yeah.
My guns. Ooh,
because the night is long. The night is dark and full of terror.
Full of terror.
Yeah.